Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. I'm Lee from thecraftyspark.co.uk and today I'm showing you how to use the new square pillow box thinlits dies from Stampin' Up, which are coming out in the new autumn winter catalogue. Just recently issued. Will be ready for everybody to start ordering online as of the 1st of September. Now, this little die, oops, if I just take it out, actually comes with a few other bits as well. You've got some sort of pumpkin-y apple shapes, some Christmas trees, some of the fall leaves, a candy cane shape. This one's like a snowflake. These two actually make a window, but the one that I'm going to be focusing on today, I'll just pop that out of there, is this one. And this will make these boxes for you. Now inside these boxes, I haven't actually popped anything yet, but they are great for putting small gifts in, sweets, treats. You can make them into all sorts of things really. This one's quite good. I did this one out of the vellum cardstock. I was quite pleased how it came out actually. Put some embossing on it, put some ribbon on it, it was quite pretty. But this one is most definitely my favourite. I do like this one. Can you see that gold embossing that I did on it? I'll put the gold ribbon around it as well. But this is where it actually gets quite clever, because as well as these ones, I also made a bigger one. You see those? Side by side? One in front of the other. And because I was getting quite carried away with myself, I made a bigger one still. You see the size difference? I think you can, yeah. Now, this one is actually, let's just move those out of the way, big enough to hold my dad's birthday present, which I do hope he's not going to see yet, because I bought him a new tie. And the whole thing fits really well in this box. Now, believe it or not, this is actually Christmas paper, but I think it looks quite good, don't you? As a man box. Right, anyway, that's Dad's tie and the tie box. This one is actually going to a friend of mine. She doesn't know about it yet, so again, I hope she doesn't see this before I give it to her. But I've made one of the screen cards. Can you see that? Came out quite well actually. I was really pleased with that. But these screen cards, they are fairly thick, and they're not the standard shape to fit into an envelope, so you either need to make an envelope to go with them or make an extendable pillow box. So I'll put that back in there. I will show you how to make them from this size to this size. Right, this video is going to be a little bit stop-start, I'm afraid, because I need to keep moving the camera up and down and moving my big shot in and out so that you can actually see what I'm doing. But what I've got here are my extendable multi-purpose platform. There it goes. Da, da, da. And what I'm going to do, first of all, is show you how to do your first one. So this is just doing the smaller size. Very, very simple. What you need to be looking for, she says, as she searches frantically around her desk, because I know I had them somewhere. Where have I put them? What I'm actually looking for is some, oh, there it is. There's some cardstock. Now, I cut this earlier. You can actually use A5, which is just simple A4 cut in half, but this is one of the 6x6 papers. Now, this particular one is from Farmer's Market, because I like the pattern, and it fits really well. Look, perfect sizing for the 6x6 paper stack. Now, in the new catalogue that's coming out, there is actually a 6x6 Christmas paper stack, which would be brilliant, because you can make lots of these boxes from just one pad. All you need is 2 sheets, because you cut one for either side. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to do. all you do, and I'm actually doing 2 at a time here because I'm using the paper. If you were using the cardstock, because of the thickness of the cardstock, you really need to be doing 1 at a time. But when you're just using the designer series paper, you're alright with just 2 at a time. So very, very simple. Just pop it in. Oops, sorry about that, I just hit the tripod. Pop it in, wind it through, away. Work those bingo wings a bit as you're running it through your machine. Take it all apart, and then you're left with these 2 pieces. Now you have to fold it over. It's already got, I don't know if you can see that too well on here, but you have actually got a very faint line already embossed round there, which makes it easier for you to turn it round, and then you can just fold it round very gently like that. Do the same on your other one. Oops. A little bit harder on this one because this was the lower layer, but it's still there and you can still see it easily enough, so you can still follow it round and just gently pinch it. Now as you're pinching it, if you curve the paper around your fingers at the same time, it actually makes it easier to get that crease in there. Make it a nice tidy crease. There we go. And then we fold that one over as well. Now they will stick together on there, whoops, and that will form your box. Now that one is quite straightforward. It would help if I wasn't sticking it right up into the camera, wouldn't it? Sorry about that. I was trying to see what I was doing, but I put the camera up high as well. There you go. So that's going to fit like that. Alright, so that's going to make a very, in this case, very untidy box. But that's not really the purpose of this video. What this video is designed to do is show you how to make the bigger boxes. Now, to do that, this is where you have to be a little bit careful. We're going to start with our cardstock on the big shot. Let me just move that over a bit because I want you to be able to see this. Dependent how big you actually want your box to be, depends on how wide you need the gap in the middle, obviously. But for this purpose, I'm actually going to do it an A5 box. So this will give you the same size box that you would need if you were going to make one this size to fit one of the screen cards in, or chocolate, bars of chocolate fit in there so well. Oh, I could do with chocolate now. Right, what you need to do is you need to spend a little time just lining it up, because lining up carefully now will make life so much easier when you're actually trying to cut. So what I tend to do is I've been lining up my edge along the edge of the cardstock and the other end right against the end of the cardstock, so it fits perfectly into that corner almost. Alright, now if we put that down, oh, this is where we need to be a little bit careful. So if my head suddenly appears in the film, I do apologise, but I need to make sure that's nicely lined up, because if it's not, this isn't going to work. Now I would ordinarily be using my magnetic platform, but unfortunately I've lent that to my friend and I've not got it back yet. So if you have got a magnetic platform, this is the perfect thing to use it for. Right, so we pop that in there, making sure it's still nicely lined up at the end there and the side. And now you have to make sure you're going to cut the end first. If you don't cut onto the end first, you'll end up with this scenario going on. Your end in the middle of your card rather than being at the end of your card, which is what happened earlier when I was doing one just to play around with. So learn by my mistakes rather than your mistakes. Waste my card rather than your card, and line it up at the end. Now when you go through, you only want to take it about halfway. What you don't want to do is be running onto this edge here. So run it through. Sorry about the glare, but I've got one of my lights above my big shot so you can see what I'm doing. So you run through, there we go, take it out, turn it round. Now you must turn it round, because otherwise you're going to cut into the middle of your box again, which is what you don't want to do. Now can you see on here, I've only cut halfway. You see that? Now what you're going to need to do is line it up again, but this time the other end, but in the same place. So use your same edge that you was using before, line it up to the end like you were before, because by spending just a little time lining it up, you end up with a real great result when you've finished. I'll just run that one through. Did I hit the tripod again? I think I did, didn't I? God, I'm so clumsy. Right, run it through, but again, stop before you get to this part here, because you don't want to cut into your box. You just want to cut onto the edge of your box. There we go. And when you take it out, you'll be ending up with this. So it's still got the join in the middle, but that's okay. We don't need to worry about that. Now let me show you what to do with it next. Right, sorry about that, I just had to stop the film then. The doorbell rang, the dog started barking, my husband came in and shouted up the stairs at me. It all went a bit wrong all at the same time. So, back again. Now, this is what we've been left with then. We have our two sides, back and front and back, whichever way you want to look at it, with joins in the middle. So, very, very easy. All you need to do is just carefully cut along that edge. Oops, move it around the right way. Cut along that edge. There we go. There's one. It's all over the place. Same on this one. And again. Crease your folds. See how it's a bit easier now because I've got card rather than paper. It does tend to work a bit better. You get a much neater edge, a much sharper edge as well. Even when you do the paper and you only use the top layer, you still don't get it quite as sharp as you do when you're using card. I think it's just because the card that we use at Stampin' Up, it's such good quality. The fibres are so dense that when you do actually crease them, you don't end up with lots of bits flicking off here and there. You know sometimes how you do it when you crease card, you get a really jaggedy edge. Look at that, nice and smooth. Right, let's fold our creases on the side. Where did I put my bone folder? There it is. And we just run those creases down. There we go. Pop some tape on. Oops. Great tape. Tears so easily. Look at that. Sticks to your paper as well, obviously, but that is what it's designed to do. Cut that off. Whoops. Oh, just trim that. I don't really want bits of tape poking out. Oh my goodness, I've stuck that on really wonky. Let's see if I can just peel that off a little bit without tearing my card. There we go. Thank goodness I didn't stick it down properly. That would look a right mess, wouldn't it? Here's my lovely pillow box with a huge bit of tape hanging out the side. Not good. And the other one. Now, smooth that down nicely. Where did I put my pokey tool? Just makes getting double-sided tape off much easier. Pull that off. Now we can line these up. Oops. Nice and carefully. Oopsie daisy, she says. Probably would be helpful if I put I'll poke it all down, but I'm worried I'm going to lose it again. There we go, here's one. And there's the other one. You just fold it over, fold your box flat, and there you go. Look at that. Poke the ends in, and you have yourself one medium size. I think we'll go for this. No, we'll have, that can be normal size, so that's going to be the large size, and then this one could be our extra large size, couldn't it? This one actually, just so that you know where I've done it for the tie, I could have done it just with A4, but I was worried it would be just a bit too screwed up, so what I've done is I've actually done it, this particular one, with a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock. Now you can't actually buy this colour, which is cherry cobbler, on its own in 12 by 12. You can only buy it if you buy the Regal's cardstock pack, where all the sheets in there, you get 2 sheets of each colour in the Regal's collection, but each sheet is 12 by 12. The only other ones we do as 12 by 12 are in Whisper White or in Basic Black. So if you want to make really, really big ones, it's not a huge amount different, I suppose, from a standard A4 size, but just that tiny bit does make a difference. Apparently so. Anyway. Okay, well there you go. That is how you make your 3 different sized boxes just using the one die. So you start with your normal one for your square pillow box die. You extend it slightly to get your large one. Is that what I said to call it? Yeah, that will be your large box. And then you extend it even further to get your extra large box.